What is going on, everybody? I am back with another video. Sorry for missing an upload yesterday. Just fell asleep, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, today, guys, or tonight, I should say, I'll be doing a preview of the Super Bowl 57, reviewing the rosters and giving my prediction. I hope you all enjoy. I wish I was doing the Bengals right now, but second time recording this, but yeah, let's get into it. Super Bowl 57 matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles as they will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and let's get right into the video. I'll just be comparing the two rosters, seeing which team is better on paper, and which team I think will take home the Super Bowl 57 trophy. The Eagles looking to claim their second Super Bowl since 2017. Kansas City Chiefs looking to claim their second Super Bowl since 2019. I'm pretty sure it was when they beat the 49ers. So, yeah, let's get right into this video. And, yeah, to start off, we are going to be reviewing the Chiefs roster, and we'll start. And the Eagles roster will be comparing different positions. To start off, we got quarterback Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. I think it's pretty obvious Mahomes is better. We will be reviewing the whole offense and defense. We'll get into that. Overall, both of these offenses are very electric. I think the Chiefs have quarterback and tight end, but I genuinely believe on paper the Eagles' offense is better. Now, obviously, let me move my camera up here. My fault. Now, obviously, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, which, if you know anything about Mahomes, you know that he is just him practically. But for the Eagles, they got Jalen Hurts. Shane Hurts had an MVP caliber season. He's definitely top 5. My personal top 5 is Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts, Allen, and then honestly, you can do a toss-up for 5. It was really those 4 who were in the race all year. But yeah, I think that on paper the Eagles have the better offense, but if you know the Chiefs overall I think has been the better offense this season. Now both teams have the exact same record, very similar offenses. The thing with the Chiefs that may not help them though is that besides for quarterback and tight end, they don't got much else on the Eagles. I mean, we'll go over here. With Ian Book, right up with him out. Ian Book. Fun fact, I didn't know Ian Book was on the Eagles. I thought he was still on the Saints. I watched Ian Book at Notre Dame. He was really good. But we see here, Miles Sanders. Chiefs got to look in Isaac. I don't know how to say his last name. Isaiah, sorry. But at wide receiver, man, it ain't even close with them. Because, at wide receiver, Juju, MVS, maybe Kadarius Toney, but it most likely going to come down to Sky Moore. And then when you compare that to the Eagles wide receiver core of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, I mean, on paper, it's not even close who has the better wide receiver core, but granted, that's where the quarterbacks came in. We know the Eagles are also a pretty run-heavy offense. Chiefs more of a pass-heavy. So I think that will be great. Obviously, you got the Kelsey Bowl. But I think what it really will come down to is the battle in the trenches. Now, I say that because the Chiefs' offensive line has been good, but it has not been great this season. They've just kind of been teetering on average to above average, in my opinion. While the Eagles have had probably the best offensive line in general this season. I think this game will come down to the battle in the trenches. Now, Mahomes' leg, we don't really know how that will look. We will just have to see. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to the offensive linemen. On paper, the Eagles do have the better offense, but at the same time, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Plus, they do still got a very solid running game behind Isaac. Why I keep saying Isaac? Isaiah and Jerick McKinnon. Clyde Edwards-Helaire can probably come in and get a couple of solid runs. The only big concern I really have for the Chiefs offense is that if Travis Kelce gets shut down, that's practically, I'd say, about half of their passing game. And that's not a shot at Mahomes. I'm just saying, Juju and MVS are not bad, but especially if he's without Kadarius Toney, they'll be depending a lot on rookie Sky Moore, Justin Watson. And, in the Super Bowl, you don't really want to do that. And that's not the ideal situation for you. But that tight end battle is going to have to come up clutch too, because if you're the Eagles, we'll get to the defense here in a bit, but you got a solid tight end, but a tight end who's nowhere near Kelce's level. So you're going to have to improvise, and I feel like that running game will not be as electric as it usually is. But we will just have to wait and see. Defense for the Chiefs, their biggest problem is that once, kind of like this year, but on offense, but mainly defense, they're depending on a lot on rookies stepping up. Excuse me. Just overall, like, very young players. George Karlaftis is a rookie. Nick Bolton's either a rookie or in his second year. I can't really remember. I think he's in the second year. Trent McDuffie's a rookie. I'm definitely missing a couple other guys, but it'll be depending a lot on rookies, which can really hurt them, because I feel like that Trent McDuffie versus A.J. Brown matchup, if that is a matchup that is ever, like, kind of a thing, they could be in a lot of trouble, because A.J. Brown is just him, to put it bluntly. They have a solid pass rush, but they're going to need to do what they did to my Bengals in the AFC Championship. They're going to need to get pressure on Hurts. They can't let Hurts escape, and they need to stop A.J. Brown, because the offense doesn't directly run through A.J. Brown, but the passing game, in my opinion, does for the majority does run through A.J. Brown. Now, you also got to stop DeVonta Smith, which, good luck with stopping both of them, but I feel like if you can stop at least one of them, which is still pretty unlikely, but, if you can stop at least one of them, you could maybe find a little bit of a hole there. It'll force them to run more. They'll become more predictable, and that could be a big advantage for the Chiefs. On the flip side, if you're the Eagles, you got to do what my Bengals couldn't do. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. Mahomes against pressure was decent, but he wasn't spectacular against the Bengals. Now, obviously, he was on one leg, and I'm talking like under pressure for the most part. But, for a guy who was on one leg, he did pretty dang good, and especially if he's healthy, you have to get pressure on Mahomes. You gotta do what the Bucks did to the Chiefs in 2020. Force Mahomes in very uncomfortable situations, make them try to beat you with Isaiah's legs or with short passes, because that's the best way to beat Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying that in a way the Chiefs can beat you. The Chiefs can definitely beat you that way, but it's a lot easier it gets a little, I'm not going to say a lot easier, but it gets a little more manageable to beat the Chiefs if you can force them into kind of that short passes, then run the ball kind of thing, because that is what the Bengals did to the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship, and we didn't end up beating them. But you do got to force them in those situations, and for the Eagles too, on the offensive side of the ball, because I know I didn't touch that much, you can't let that running game fail. That running game, and like I said, that battle's going to be won in the trenches, but I'm not even necessarily saying that for pass blocking. When it comes down to run blocking, they have to run the ball good. It's something the Bengals couldn't do against the Chiefs. It's something a lot of teams couldn't do against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have a really good defense all around. But like I said, there are some young guys. This is a very experienced team. Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, if he plays, because he is questionable. And, like Dallas Goedert. All of those guys have had experience. They know what to do in the Super Bowl. But back to what I was saying about running the ball, you have to get that running game going. If that running game is stopped, the Eagles will lose this game. Because, like I said, don't get me wrong, they passed the ball really well this year. I'm not saying they haven't. But let's be honest, the main strength of that team has been Miles Sanders or just anybody in general running the ball. They got Jalen Hurts, who, although obviously we know Lamar Jackson's probably the premium scrambling QB, was really overall this year, especially with Lamar Jackson being injured, the best scrambling QB in football. For the wide receiver core, you got to get A.J. Brown going. You got to get Smith going. You got to keep that consistent passing game going to go along with the running game. And on the defense side of the ball, like I said, you got to get pressure. You got to force the Chiefs to settle for short passes and runs. And I feel like Hassan Reddick is going to be the biggest, arguably, player in this game because we know he's been on a tear this season, especially in the postseason. You gotta keep that up. You can't just let up now. You're right there. And yes, I want the Eagles to win, but you gotta respect the Chiefs. They got the best quarterback in football, the best tight end in football, one of the better defenses in football. So you have to force them in uncomfortable situations, and you have to run that ball down their throat. That is the only ways you can beat them. They are a beatable team. Don't get me wrong. Neither of these teams are unstoppable. Neither of these teams are also, super beatable either. But it's going to be a battle. It's going to come down to the trenches, and which team is going to force another in more uncomfortable situations. But yeah, that's just my take on it. But what do you guys think? For my personal prediction of the game, obviously I want the Eagles to win. But I got the Chiefs winning 31-27, maybe 31-28, but I do see at least a field goal or two being made by each team. The reason I say this is because, that Chiefs, if they get that passing game going, while also had a pretty balanced running game, and you have to at least slow down that passing game, which I know the Eagles are more than capable of, I just doubt they'll be able to do it. It's over. And I feel like this man right here is going to play a big part for the Chiefs. He's probably going to have to be the biggest player for the Chiefs, probably bigger than Mahomes, because half of that passing game offense, at least, like I said, runs through this guy. And the same could be said for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Now, like I said, I just think the Chiefs are going to get the job done, and I feel like this is going to be a good game. I hope it's a good game. I hope it ain't a boring Super Bowl, because obviously boring Super Bowls suck. But yeah, I got the Chiefs winning by 4 points by a final score of 31-27. Although I'm cheering for the Eagles to win, I do got the Chiefs winning. Excuse me. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You all know what to do. Make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. Tell me your predictions, or your prediction for how do you think this game is going to go, score prediction, all of that. I got the Chiefs winning, but who you got winning? But yeah, I love y'all. Please stay safe, and yeah, bye guys.